स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री पुरुषोत्तम मास की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्णा। So आज
Hare Krishna. So today I'm extremely happy and overwhelmed, but I have this sadness as well that since last 1 month we all have been constantly listening to the glories of Bhagavatam and observing this Purushottam every day. We have been listening to the glorification, magnificence of Purushottam and how to observe the same. So we have been listening to this regularly, and today is the last day. And this is the last day of this glorification of Purushottam, and the Katha of Navadha Bhakti also is getting concluding. So I'm excited as well that for constantly 30 days we have heard about the magnificence of Purushottam, but at the same time there is something that will be lacking, and we will be waiting for the next Purushottam, the excitement, the happiness, bliss that we have enjoyed. After 3 years we might be living or not, how are we going to do it or not? So all these things are creating some distress in our hearts. So today, from Padma Puran, we will listen to the last chapter of Purushottam glorification from Padma Puran. So this is the last chapter from Padma Puran. So this is the last and 24th chapter. And as you all are aware, that monkey attained the body of an eternal associate of the Lord, the four-armed form of the Lord, and the eternal associates of the Lord took him with him, and from there this monkey, who was supposed to suffer for 100 trillion years in the hellish planets, he got relieved of that and attained the abode of the Lord. So demigods became conscious or started contemplating. So you might be aware, like whether you're living in India, America, Nairobi, or Canada, you all are listening to the Katha, so you all will go to Vaikuntha. So when the eternal associates of the Lord will take you to the Lord's abode, then before the abode of the Lord, then first the heavenly planets will come. So you can just so you can just show them a thumb as well, that you have performed so much piety, but you went to heavenly planets, that still you will be entangled in these 84 lakhs of species. So when a monkey, by just little devotional service, that done to in ignorance, has just attained the abode of the Lord. So when he was going, the demigods saw that. And what did the demigods started saying, Sud Goswami, right? So even demigods gossip. It's not just we that who gossip. So when we sit and come together, what do we discuss? How are you? How is your health? How is your investment going on? So all these things people talk. And when women meet, then they will talk about the food. I almost listen. So even from India, they will ask that, what have you cooked today? So you don't have any other topic to discuss. But in the human life, usually the discussions are such. So what are the discussions in the world of the demigods? Let's look through the medium of Sud Goswami, who recites,
सिया प्रशंसति सर्वे देवा सवा सवा केनचित् पुण्य योगेन मानुषं जन्म लभ्यते मानुषं जन्म लभ्यते त्रिदिवस्या त्रिदिव
Tridivasya Prashansati Sarve Deva. So all the demigods, Sarve means all, Deva means demigods, when they saw the liberation of this monkey, so they all started discussing about the same. And what did they contemplated, or what were they discussing? Indra might be saying, oh Varun, oh Chandru, oh Surya. So now we just want to perform pious deeds. So by doing the pious deeds of performing piety, we have become the demigods. So why do you want to perform piety when you are already a demigod now? So he says that Kenichat Punya Yogin Manusham Janam Labhyate. So the demigods are thinking that by performing some piety, we should get a human body. And we discussed that if we perform some piety, then we will go to the heavenly planets. So all the demigods who are already in the heavens, they are discussing that we should perform some piety, that by the fruit of which we can get a human body or human form. And that is what Sud Goswami mentions in Padma Puran. But even Shukdev Goswami has said the same in Bhagavatam, and it's mentioned in Ramayana as well. So in essence, the demigods want to become humans, because in the heavenly planets there is long life, disease-free life with all the comforts, but there is no scope to perform devotional service. They don't have Amrit Charcha or Wi-Fi. Do you think they will have Wi-Fi? What do you think? Do they have telecom, etc.? So the demigods think we don't have this facility that we can perform our devotional service. So somehow by some piety, we should try to get a human life or human body. That implies that this human life is even very, very rare for demigods. Even demigods want to be humans. Why? The glories of Mother Earth are far more than the heavenly planets. In words of Narsi Mehta,
પદાર્થ મોટું ભૂતળ ભગતિ પદાર્થ મોટું હે બ્રહ્મલોકમાં નાહી રે ભૂતળ ભગતિ પદાર્થ મોટું પુણ્ય કરીયમ રાપુરી પામ્યા અંતે 84 માહે રે ભૂતળ ભગતિ પદાર્થ મોટું ભૂતળ ભગતિ પદાર્થ મોટું ये भूतल
Bhakti Pradarth Motu. So this human life, this Mother Earth is the greatest thing to achieve. So here the demigods are discussing that this human life is very, very important and we should get that. So if demigods ask that you will get a human life, so where do you want to be born? Then in the second verse, Sud Goswami writes, Sarva sadhana sampanne ajnabhe khandana nayake. So demigods are thinking in the heaven that first we should get human body and that too in Ajnab Khand. So we should be born in India or Ajnab Varsh. Even demigods want to be born as an Indian, and we Indians want to leave our country to foreign lands. So why do we want a human life in India or Bharatvarsha? Because all the instruments required to perform devotional service are present in India. Sarva sadhan means all the instruments are available. So by just taking a dip in Gangaji, you can get or attain the Lord. By going to holy places or pilgrimage, you can attain the abode of the Lord. But for that, you will have to go to India. That is why they want to be in India or Bharatvarsha. Tehir Sarvatmana Masam Sevaya Mayo Haripriyam. And in this Purushottam month, we should, when we will be able to serve Lord Hari, during this pious Purushottam month. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we are able to perform bhakti anywhere in the world. So had Prabhupada been there at that time, then demigods wouldn't have said that. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, he had created Vrindavan, Mayapur in every part of the world. So first he tells the glories of the human life and then the glories of the country Bharatvarsh, that is India. And when they are discussing it further, then now they're going to sing the glories of Purushottam. They say, Harilok Pradam Punayam Ajasam Purushottamam. So if you want to attain the abode of the Lord, and if you want that kind of piety or sukriti, you can get the fruit or benefit. How? By just following a little of the Purushottam, easily we can attain the abode of the Lord, that is Vaikuntha. And the example here is this monkey. So, who was a grave sinner, who was supposed to suffer for eternity, but he attained the abode of the Lord very easily just by following little principles in Purushottam. So when a monkey, by just performing little devotional service, can attain the abode of the Lord, then idrisham manava masam narchanti gatahriya. So if someone who doesn't, after listening to all these glories, doesn't follow this Purushottam, then katha mukta bhavishyanti. Then how will he be benefited? Mrityu janma bhavadvija. How will he be relieved of this repeated birth and death? So now it's the conclusion of the Purushottam. So when a monkey can attain the abode of the Lord, so why a human cannot perform the same? And by getting such a beautiful human form and being born in a great country like Bharat, and I want to add that after becoming devotees in Prabhupada's organization, if we don't follow this Purushottam, then na putra sukham tesham na cha mukti kadachana. He will not get any material bliss, nor he will get any liberation beyond death if you're not able to perform devotional service or just a little service during this great Purushottam. So if you just perform little devotional service in Purushottam, so then you won't be happy in this world nor beyond that. So in this manner, the demigods are discussing. So now the chariot that has just started from earth. So in this, the four eternal associates of the Lord and this monkey Dev was there. So only 5 people were there in the chariot, and now they started discussing. Suji has very beautifully explained this, created a foundation. So all these 5 started discussing. So they all started discussing amongst themselves. This monkey said, I was a monkey. I was unaware of any rules and regulation, yet I was liberated. So just let me know what is the process we should follow in Purushottam. So they were discussing this, that in this month, what shall we not do and what shall we do? So they have already discussed in the first chapter, but now they're concluding, so they are doing it again. So he says that in this month, you should not wear dirty clothes. You should not drink someone's tasted water and food. In this Purushottam, you should not take a bath in a water that is not pure or has been tasted by other one. You should not sleep in anyone else's bed, and you should not use anybody else's fire. So this all is mentioned in verses. So the eternal associates of the Lord are discussing among themselves. You should not eat that doesn't belong to you. You should not wear someone else's clothes. So we should not use anybody else's commandments. So we don't use it any longer. So we should serve the demigods and the Lord with equanimity, and we should not criticize others. So you don't do it. What is criticism? You even know? I'm sure you don't do that. So in this Purushottam month, we should not criticize others, and we should not listen to the criticism by others as well. So this is what they are discussing amongst themselves. In this Purushottam month, you should not lie. So there's so many things, and more, we should try to chant the holy names of the Lord.
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। इस प्रकार इस पुरुषोत्तम मास की बड़ी महिमा।
So in this manner, this Purushottam month is very glorious. So now one important thing, let me add one more point here. There are so many things that we should do, and there are so many things that should be prohibited. So there are rules and there are regulations as well to be followed. So it is possible you might not have done what you were supposed to do, and whatever was prohibited, you might have done. No worries. Even if you haven't done anything in Purushottam, if you have just heard the glorification of this Purushottam, had I told this earlier, then you might not have done anything. That is why I kept it at the last. So it is said that whatever has been said, that you should perform more austerity and chanting, etc. So whatever I spoke for 1 hour daily from Padma Puran during this month, so just by listening to this Katha, what will you attain? Shri Shuddha Goswami कहते हैं, says, Shrutva, so just listening, Akhyanam, that is the discourse of the glories of Purushottam. So if someone just listens to the same, so if you follow it by following the rules and regulation, then that is great. But even if you just listen to this discourse, then whether you listen to for 24 days, that is good. But even if you just listen for 1 day, if you have heard this, then Sud Goswami says, just by listening the same, the person will be relieved or atoned of all this. So had I told this earlier, then you would have just listened to the Katha and not performed any piety or austerity. If you just listen to this Katha, so by just that, that is which Katha, the singing glories or glorification of Purushottam month, you will get relieved of all the sins. And along with that, or not only that, the benefit or fruit of taking a dip in Mother Ganga. So some might not have been able to do that, some might have done it as well. So by just listening to these pastimes, you get the benefit of taking a dip in Mother Ganga and all other holy rivers. And the fruit of taking a dip in the ocean, and the fruit of visiting all the holy places, pilgrimages, and the kundas, rivers, etc. What all these fruits will be achieved just by listening to this katha. So you might have been cursing me that since 1 month he has been speaking on this. But if you haven't been able to follow, but just have you heard this by love and faith, if you have heard that, then also you will get liberated. And not only that, Sud Goswami adds, a person who has heard this katha or pastime, proclivity of the Lord, then, and it implies that he has already performed all those austerities, sacrifice, homa, etc. He will get all the benefits if he has listened to the katha. in millions and billions of lives, the fruit that you get by performing a fire sacrifice or yajna, homa, etc., you will get the same benefit by just listening to this katha. And he stresses on this point and he says, Satyam, Satyam, that is to stress that this is true. So you all are also sages. So Sud Goswami is concluding, he says that all great sages have been listening since last 1 month, have been listening to the glories of Purushottam. So the benefit or fruit of the same is that you will get the benefit of fruit of going to all the holy places and taking a dip in all the holy rivers, and the fruit of performing austerity, fire sacrifice, etc. So I am thankful to all your faith. You all have been listening very carefully. And here I conclude my speech. That is, I'm not doing that, but Sud Goswami ji is telling this to the sages of Naimisharanya, that is Shanak, etc. So he says that here the glorification of Purushottam ones include. So when Sudji said that this is concluded, I just want to stop here. Then these sages of Naimisharanya were overwhelmed with grief. They were distressed in grief, heartbroken in distress. So that this great sage will leave us. And Shaunak sage started praising the Sud Goswami. So they expressed their gratitude with so much affection. So he is saying,
Shrutveti vipra kilsho nakadya sutam tadochu vinayanastaste dhanyo si chiram tanosi धन्यो सि चिरम तनोसि जगत पवित्री करणोसि सूत। हे सुध गोस्वामी,
Oh great Sud Goswami, Shrutveti Vipra Kilisho Nakadha. So we have heard the glories of the Purushottam. And after listening to that, kila means after. Sutam tato churviniya nataste. So all the sages, it is Shaunak, etc., started venerating Sutam. And how did they praise him? By saying, Dhanyo, Dhanyo, that is, you are great, O sage. And because of associating with you, we have become so great. So they are stressing on this point, and they repeatedly say that we are grateful, we are grateful, you're great, you're great. Oh, Sud Goswami, you should live for millions and millions lives, and you should continue speaking this katha to us. Oh, Sud Goswami, not only you, but not us as well. You have the strength to purify the whole world, entire universe. Today, by speaking these pastimes, you have purified us. And further, they add,
Jagatarti hari Nam tvadiyam cha Tatheva suta त्वं नो गुरु पूज्य तमश्च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदत्वं किमु ते वदामः। यथैव विष्णु जगतार्तिहारी
यथेव विष्णु जगतार्तिहारी। O Sut Goswami, Yathev, as Shri Vishnu Jagat Artihari, as Lord Vishnu relieves the whole world of their distresses, you also are capable of doing the same. And this is true. As the Lord removes the distress of people, similarly, his devotees, sages, and saints can relieve us of our distress. Jagat Arti Hari. Arti is distress and Hari is to destroy. So we have heard the Katha from you. And if someone just speaks your name, they say beautifully, Nama Tvadiyam. Tatheva Sut. So if someone just takes your name, he will get purified. And if someone listens from you, so how blessed they will be. So I accept that you are our spiritual master, we are your disciple. They say, Tvam no Guru. So from today onwards, you are our bona fide spiritual master, Pujya Tamascha. You are worshipable for us because what even the Lord cannot give, you have provided to us. And what is that? Vishnu Bhakti Pradastavam. That is, Vishnu and Bhakti is devotional service, Pradastavam to give. So, Lord has all the 6 opulences like renunciation, knowledge, bliss, opulence, etc. But his devotional service is not with him. That is with the pure, exalted, stalwart devotees of the Lord. So what even the Lord cannot give, you have given us that. And what's that? Vishnu Bhakti Pradastvam. You have provided us the devotional service towards the Lord. Kimute Vadam. What can we say in your glorification? This is the Anumodan. Whatever we say will be less. If the glories of a person are to be spoken, if we speak less, then that is a criticism or condemnation. So they say, Kim te vadama. What can we speak? But there is one thing for sure, very beautifully they add,
श्लोकाक्षराणां प्रतिकोटिदाने श्यामो नृणां नापि समुद्रनेमि प्रदासुराणाम पीराज्यदाना। तव आनन
Tav Anana Mukh, that is face. Tav means yours, so yours, face. And Ud means whatever you spoke. And what was that? Geet, that is a song. So, what the song that you sung, or the glories that you have spoken or sung, that is the Purushottam Mahatmya. They're speaking about the same. They say, Tav Anand Udgeet. How is it? Hari Pradhana. This is the gratitude. the Katha that you spoke, we have seen that it has Hari Pradhan, that is, the focus is the Lord, and in every verse, Shlok Aksharana means every verse and word, there were two things that were primary focal points. So, a good speaker's two glories are these. First, in every verse and alphabet, there should be the focus, or the Lord should be at the center. It should not be about their own glorification or anything else. Some people's words, if you see, they will say something good. And what will be the conclusion? Then you should perform austerity, charity. The world is illusion. You should leave everything. And whatever you have, you should give to others. That is what people conclude. And some have other. But the greatest conclusion is that whose conclusion is that Lord Hari is the supreme and devotional service should be performed and nothing else. And secondly, Bhagavatam, that is the glories of the chanting of the holy name. So, whose conclusion is performing devotional service towards the Lord and love towards the Godhead and chanting the holy names, that is the best speech or the best quality of an orator. So, whatever you have spoken that had the Lord as the focal point, and therefore, pratikoti dane, that is why your pastime that you have shared with us is even greater than giving billions time of austerity. So I must admit to Yogesh Bhai that you might have been performing charity, but the dhan that or the charity that you have performed by giving this katha to others, because by this you people can attain perform attain devotional service towards the Lord. They might perform devotional service and they become blissful. So by just speaking the glories of Lord Shri Krishna, pratikoti dane, the last word in the first line, which is equivalent to giving millions and billions of austerity. And whatever you have given us, asyam, anrinam, na api, we won't be ever be able to be debt free. We are so much indebted to you, whatever you have spoken since last month. So if you give some, you should give something that you can pay off your debt. So they say, Samudra nemi prada suranami api rajyatanat. So from the ocean till the all the heavenly planets, the whole universe, even if we give to someone, but still we won't be able to become debt free. This the charity of speech is a greatest, and in whose speech there is love towards the supreme personality of Godhead and the glories of the Lord. Such a speech is cannot be paid off by the whole land, or from the ocean to the heavenly planets. We were so much indebted to you, and thus this chapter gets concluded. So the 24th chapter of Padma Puran gets concluded. So there were all 24 chapters, and with sequence we have heard the same without any trouble and obstruction we have concluded. So we are excited, but at the same time we are distressed as well that when we are going to have this opportunity again.
श्री कृष्ण मास की, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की। और मैं मेरी ओर से आपको कहूं कि मुझे तो
So
कुछ
if I want to add something, although I don't know how to speak, but I have tried to speak amidst all of you, to speak the glories of this month. In my speech, if there is some shortcoming, or like, because reading the Puranas and to present it in a proclivity or Katha, sometimes it becomes difficult. Sometimes we forget as well. I don't remember much. So, by the effect of Maya or external potency of the Lord, there might be some shortcoming, but I am confident that you will only see all the qualities and whatever you can understand, and please be merciful. And if you want to be merciful, then from today, you should, I will just pray to the Lord only one thing. I remember one verse, if I speak in His words.
टली समझ मने परवर दिगार दे, बस एटली समझ मने परवर दिगार दे, सुख जार ज्यां मळे त्यां बदाना विचार दे, सुख जार ज्यां मळे त्यां बदाना विचार दे, बस एटली समझ मने परवर दिगार दे। हे मेरे भक्तों, हे वैष्णवों, हे भगवान,
O devotees, O Vaishnavas, O Lord, if you are satisfied with our work, then please give me this wisdom that whenever I get some happiness in my life, then I should distribute it to others. I should share that with others. So when I get happiness, I should get this thought that how can I share it with others? How can I help others? And that is what I need. That is the wisdom I need in my life. That wherever I get happiness, I should just remember everyone. So with this blessing, I conclude the Purushottam's 24th chapter, and Mother Shabri is waiting for us. So let's go to her, and she is calling the Lord. So with Mother Shabri, let's call the Lord.
जय जय माखन चोर, जय जय माखन चोर, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी
Hare Krishna, I welcome all the loving devotees of Bhagavatam,
इस सभा को
I extend my warm welcome and gratitude to the
भगवत कथा रसिक
senior
भक्तगण
devotees who
दूर
have
दराज
decorated this assembly of
गोविंद टीवी
Vaishnavas. I
फेसबुक
also welcome you
यूट्यूब
all who have joined through the medium of Facebook,
इस
YouTube,
कथा
Govind
का
TV,
श्रवण करने
etc.,
वाले
from all the
समस्त
parts of the world.
श्रोतागण
It is all the listeners, attendees,
इस
devotees,
सुंदर
and
भगवत कथा का
the organizers
राम
of
कथा
this
का
beautiful
शारदा
Ram
माता
Katha,
की इस कथा का
the
आयोजन
Katha
करने
of
वाले
Mother Shabri, the organizers of this
समग्र
Katha, the
दुनिया में
entire,
बसे हुए श्री पटनी परिवार
the Patni family,
इनके
which is
पूर्वजों का स्मरण करें तो श्री
present in all the
रामजी
parts of the
बापा
world. So, if I
जगन्नाथ
remember
बापा
their
कान्हा भाई
ancestors, Ramji Bhai,
काका
Dudi
बेन
Mata,
छोटू भाई
Kanchi Bhai,
जसू
Jaya
बेन
Ben, Chotu
प्रभुदास
Bhai,
भाई
Jasu Ben, and Prabhudas Bhai,
इन सब की
etc.
स्मृति में
And in
ये
their
सुंदर कथा
reverie,
का
the,
निर्धारण
this
करने
beautiful
वाले
Katha has
श्री
been
योगेश
organized
भाई
by
नैरोबी से
Yogesh Bhai from Nairobi,
लंदन से श्री
from
नवीन
London,
भाई
Naveen
रंजन
Bhai,
बेन
Ranjan Ben,
रमेश भाई मुरली
Ramesh
बेन
Bhai, Urli Ben,
ऑस्ट्रेलिया से अरविंद
from
भाई
Australia,
इंदिरा बेन
Arvind Bhai, Indira Ben,
और केनिया से श्री
and from
शोभा
Kenya,
बेन आप
Shobha
सभी
Ben.
भक्तों का
I welcome you all
श्रीमद् भगवत कथा के अंतिम
on the
एवं
last
सप्तम
and the
दिवस में
seventh day of
पुनः
this
एक बार
Bhagavatam Katha.
हार्दिक स्वागत एवं
Welcome back,
आप
and
सबके चरणों में
please
हमारा
accept our
प्रणाम
humble obeisances at your lotus
साथ ही
feet.
साथ
And along
प्रभुदास
with
भाई
that,
और
Prabhudas
पूरे
Bhai
परिवार को
and the whole family,
विशेष रूप से प्रणाम
I want to venerate them as well.
नवदा भक्ति
Navadha
श्रेष्ठतरी नवदा
Bhakti,
भक्ति भगवान रामचंद्र के
the
द्वारा
Navadha Bhakti spoken
दी
by
जा
Lord
रही
Sri
है
Ramchandra to Mother Shabri is
और
being
शबरी
discussed,
माता की यह जीद समझिए
and
निवेदन
is
समझिए
it her
विनम्रता
request
समझिए
or
जो
humility
वो
that,
आपकी
oh my
स्तुति नहीं
Lord,
कर पाती
I am unable
मैं
to
आपकी स्तुति किस
venerate you.
प्रकार से करूं
How can
कई
I
विधि
venerate you?
स्तुति करो
How
तुहाई
should I worship you? How should I pray to you?
कल मैंने कहा था
Sing your glory.
कि
So, yesterday I
जो
said
व्यक्ति
that
भगवान
a
को
person
समझ गया
who has understood the Lord,
उनकी वाणी रुक जाती है
their voice
इसलिए यही बात आप
stops.
जनक जी
And
के विषय में देख सकते
that
हैं
is what we can
ये बात जनक
see
जी ने
from
कही
the life of Janakji as well.
राम
This
करो
is what
के ही
Janakji has
भांति
said. He
प्रशंसा
says, Ram karo kehi
हे राम
bhanti
मैं तुम्हारी
prashansa.
प्रशंसा किस
O
भांति करूं
Ram,
शबरी
how
माता
can
कहती
I
यही
praise
विधि
you
स्तुति
like
करो तो है
Mother Shabri
तो
said
जनक
that
जी ने
how
कहा
can
कि
I venerate you? How should I
करो के
pray
ही
you?
भांति प्रशंसा आपकी
Similarly,
प्रशंसा आपकी स्तुति कैसे करूं क्योंकि मुनि महेश मन मानस
he is
मूषा
saying that how can I praise
मुनि
you?
बड़े बड़े मुनि
Because
देवादि देव
the
महादेव
great
के मन रूपी
sages and
मानस रूपी हंस हो
Mahadev,
उनके मन पर सवार होते हो
you ride all of their
और फिर
hearts,
भी
and
ये
still
बड़े बड़े लोग अपने
all these great
मनस
personalities,
इंद्रियों से तो आपको पकड़ नहीं पाते
they are unable to
इवन अपने शब्दों से भी
catch you by their
जब
senses,
पकड़
but
नहीं पाते
by their words also they are unable
हमारी
to
तो
reach
छोड़ो
you.
हमारी तो
So
गिनती ही
forget
नहीं है
about us, we
ये
are
मुनि और
unaccountable,
महेश
but such great sages and
इंद्रियों से भी
saints and
जिनकी
Mahesh,
वाणी से भी आपकी आपके
not
पास
just their
पहुंच नहीं है
senses, but
अरे
who are
वाणी तो
not
छोड़ो
even
कम से कम
able to
मन से
reach
भी आपके
by
तक
their
पहुंच
speech,
नहीं है
or who cannot even
अपने मन से आप तक नहीं पहुंच सकते तो
reach
वाणी
you
और
by
अन्य फिर
their
किसकी
mind
होगी
or heart.
आगे कहते हैं
Then he further adds,
मन समेत जेहि जान न बानी तरक न सकहि सकल अनुमानी मन समेत जिनकी वाणी
so he says,
आप
along
तक
with
पहुंच
heart,
नहीं पाती
whose speech is unable to
महिमा
reach
गम
you.
नेति कही कहीं वेदों ने आपके विषय में बहुत कुछ कहा
The Vedas have
अंत में
said so much
न इति
about you, but
नेति नेति
ultimately they
उससे
also
भी
concluded Neti,
ज्यादा आगे कुछ
Neti.
नहीं कह पाएंगे
That is, I
तो जो
we won't be able to speak further.
जो तीनों काल में एक रस रहते हैं,
So the one who
मैं आपकी प्रशंसा कैसे कर
is
सकता हूँ, अर्थात
eternal in past, present, or future, how can I sing your glories? I can't.
इस प्रकार से
So in this manner,
जनक जी राम जी को समझ गए,
Janak ji have understood Lord Sri Ram and said that I cannot glorify you.
रूप से समझ चुकी है,
Shabri mother also has understood Ramji completely. That is why she says, Kehi vidhi astuti karu tihari.
की महिमा
The glories of Mother
भगवान
Shabri,
रामचंद्र
Lord Ramchandra himself
जी का पता पूछ रहे हैं,
is asking the address of Mother Janaki from her.
राम को भी
Lord himself,
कहाँ मिलेगी,
where shall he find Mother Sita?
प्रभु राम को भी
Lord himself is asking Mother Shabri.
सीता जी भक्ति का स्वरूप है,
So, Mother Sita is devotional service personified. Even where he can find this devotional service, even Lord doesn't know. So he is unaware that where can he find this epitome of devotional service, Mother Sita. Therefore,
शबरी माता को पूछते हैं,
he asked Mother Shabri, Janak Suta Kai Suti Bhamini,
कि जनक सुता कहाँ मिलेगी,
where can I find the daughter of King Janak? Janahi kahu karibar gan. Please be merciful and let me know.
सीता कहाँ मिलेगी, ये
So where can I find this epitome of devotional service, unalloyed devotional service?
भक्ति कैसे
So the conclusion is that how we can attain devotional service, even Lord is unaware,
भक्त को पता है,
but a devotee or the exalted devotee of the Lord is aware.
सब कुछ मिल सकता है,
So we can get everything from the Lord, but if we want devotional service, then we will have to take or seek blessings of Mother Shabri or the devotees who are exalted stalwart like Mother Shabri, who are pure. So in this manner, Lord Ramji is asking the address of devotional service personified, and Mother Shabri knows that. Therefore, Lord Ramchandra is extremely satisfied and happy with her, seeing her mellows and devotional service and humility. That is why he broke his two principles of modesty. So what I shared the first, which I already spoke, that he ate the already tasted berries of Mother Shabri, and the second. So you might be saying, like, you're bringing everything different and you're breaking his principles of modesty. And whatever I will speak with a proof. So in Upanishad, there is this verse. So let's understand this verse first. Na prushta kaschit bruyat. To a sage or a saintly person or great personality, na prushta, till the point they are not asked, kaschit bruyat, they will not speak. People like us who are half filled pots or half mad, no matter they're asked or not, they speak. But a genuine person, a sage, saint, or Lord, what is their nature? No prushtha. If they're not asked, they will not speak. So till the point you're asked, you should not speak first. And second, na cha nyaya prishta. If it's not asked properly, that time also they will not speak. First, if a person asks, then only you should, and he should ask in an appropriate manner, then only he should be replied. Sometimes the people who ask a question, they ask is not in a straightforward manner. So they're not bound to respond. So they can just say, you can go and ask your father. So You can go and ask your
तो
father.
ये दूसरा पॉइंट है कि न च अन्याय पृष्ठत, पूछने की स्टाइल, पूछने की विधि,
So
उनका
the
मुंह भी बंद
process
ना
to
हो
ask
तो भी हम
and their
सज्जन
mood
आदमी
or
उसको
way of
रिस्पॉन्ड कर
asking,
सकते हैं।
a saintly
तो फिर
person will
हम
not respond
फिर
to such
सिस्टम
people.
हमारे
So
लिए
these
भक्ति
are the
हमारे
two
लिए भक्ति
philosophical
तो है
points.
ही,
We will,
कि
it will be
न
useful in our life
पृष्ठतः
and they
कश्चित
are
ब्रूयात्,
in Ramji's life as
जब
well.
ना
So
पूछा जाए
till the
तब
point they
मत
are
बोलो।
not asked, you should not speak
अरे बिना पूछे
first.
बोलते हैं ना तो हमारी इज्जत वैल्यू डाउन हो जाती है।
So when we speak without
सो न ना पृष्ठ,
being
जब
asked,
तक ना
then
पूछा जाए कभी
it
मत बोलो, एक।
puts us
और
down
दूसरा सही
or
ढंग से ना
degrades us.
पूछा
And
जाए
second,
तो भी
if
मत
it's
बोलो।
not asked properly, then
तो
also you
पूछने का
should not
ढंग
respond.
क्या है?
And what
भगवत
should
गीता में
be the
कृष्ण
way
ने
to
कहा,
speak? So in Bhagavad Gita,
भगवत
Krishna
गीता
has
तीसरा
already
अध्याय,
said
हम्म,
in the third chapter, he
तद्विद्वि
says,
प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनः तत्वदर्शिनः। पूछने का ढंग कैसा है?
so how should we ask?
प्रणिपातेन, प्रणाम करके
Tadvidi.
पूछना चाहिए।
So we should
परिप्रश्नेन,
ask with folded hands.
जिज्ञासा के भाव से
We should
पूछना चाहिए,
ask in a
चैलेंजिंग
mellow
भाव से
of
नहीं कि
inquisitiveness,
आज
not in a
देखते हैं कि
challenging
तुम्हें
mood.
कितनी ज्ञान
That,
बुद्धि है,
oh,
ऐसा
let's see how
अरे
much you
मैं
know.
जानता नहीं
That
हूँ,
should not be
मुझे
our
बताइए,
mood
जिज्ञासा
or intent.
करना। तो प्रणाम करके
So
प्रणिपातेन
first we should bow
परिप्रश्नेन,
down
और
and then we
सेवया,
should
सेवा करते
ask,
हुए
and
पूछना चाहिए।
we should
ठीक है,
ask when we are
जैसे
serving
कृष्ण ने
them
कहा,
or
मुझे कोई कहे
by
तो
serving
मैं
them
इसका
as well. So
अर्थ थोड़ा बदल दूंगा।
if someone asks
तद्विद्वि
me, then
प्रणिपातेन,
I will change it
प्रणाम
a little.
करके पूछो,
That you
परिप्रश्नेन
should ask
जिज्ञासा से
by
पूछो,
folded hands.
और
We should be
सेवया,
inquisitive and
सेवा
sevaya.
करके पूछो। लेकिन मुझे पूछो तो सेवा करके
If you
नहीं,
ask me,
सेवई
not
खिलाकर
by saying,
पूछो।
you should offer
कैसे
me
होगा?
sweets.
भगवत गीता का श्लोक है, तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया। तो हाँ, कृष्ण ने कहा सेवा करके पूछो,
So
लेकिन मैं तो
Krishna
कहूंगा
has said that
सेवई खिलाकर पूछो।
you should serve me,
दूध
but
में
I'll say
शक्कर
that
डालो, थोड़ी इलायची डालो,
offer
थोड़े
me
ड्राई फ्रूट्स
some
डालो,
vermicelli
शक्कर डालो, उसको
in
बॉईल
milk and
करो,
put some sugar
उसको
and
खट्टी
cardamom
रबड़ी बनाकर फिर
and
इसको
make it
खिलाओ, और फिर पूछो, जवाब
a
अच्छा मिलेगा।
sweet preparation
वरना
and then
कोरू कोरू
offer it to
पूछोगे,
them. And then you
तो
ask a
मेंस
question,
प्रॉब्लम
then you
आपको
will
हो
get a good
जाएगा।
question.
न कुछ खिलाते पिलाते हैं, प्रश्न उत्तरी, भूखे पेट कितनी होती है।
So how can a person who is empty stomach
परिप्रश्नेन
can respond
सेवया,
to so many
सेवई
questions?
खिलाकर पूछो या फिर सेवा करके पूछो। तो यहाँ पर शबरी ने
So
सेवई
here,
खिलाई थी, नहीं।
Mother Shabri has offered
तो यहाँ पर न
sweet.
पृष्ठ, शबरी ने क्या
No,
राम जी को कहा था कि मुझे
has
कृष्ण
she
भक्ति
told
का उपदेश करो?
that you
नहीं कहा था।
speak about
जब
Navadha
शबरी
Bhakti or
ने
nine limbs
बोला
of
कि
devotion?
प्रश्न पूछा
So
है,
when she
नवधा
hasn't
जिज्ञासा
asked the
की है,
question, nor
तो
she
थोड़ा
has
प्रवचन करो, थोड़ा उपदेश दो, थोड़ी कथा सुनना,
shared
भले
any
ही उसने और
inquisitiveness,
ऐसी जिज्ञासा नहीं की,
she hasn't
लेकिन फिर भी
asked
राम जी शुरू
anything.
हो गए।
Yet Ramji started
प्रथम
speaking.
भगति संतन कर संग, अरे भाई रुक 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 रुक, आपको किसी ने कहा कि प्रवचन का पाठ
So,
मांडो? नहीं।
has anybody asked you to
आपको
preach?
किसी ने सेवैया खिलाकर या जिज्ञासा
Have
करके कहा
anybody
कि कुछ
served you
उपदेश प्रवचन
and
करो? नहीं।
asked that you should speak
तो
something?
राम
No.
जैसा मर्यादा
Though,
पुरुषोत्तम ये नीति
so
कैसे चूक सकता
Lord
है?
Ram, who
समझ रहे हैं? ये
is
नीति है।
modesty
तो
personified,
सज्जन
who
व्यक्ति जब
is
तक
the
वो पूछने
staunch
नहीं जाएगा,
followers of his
ढंग से नहीं
principles,
पूछे तो बोले नहीं। और राम जी बिना पूछे, बिना कुछ
and
कहे
without even
प्रवचन शुरू
being
कर दिए।
asked, he started preaching.
तो ये राम जी ने अपनी मर्यादा
So
तोड़ी,
this is here,
ये
he has
सिद्धांत
broken
उसने
his
तोड़ी।
principles.
किसके लिए? शबरी
Why?
के प्रेम के
For whom?
लिए।
For the sake of
जहां
Mother
प्रेम होता
Shabri's
है,
love.
वहां
Wherever there
धर्म
is love,
कर्म नीचे रह जाता है।
there the
ये
principles
सारी
of
नीति, सारी
religiosity
रीति सबसे
becomes
नीचे रह जाती
secondary.
है ना? तो राम जी
Love is
शबरी के
beyond
प्रेम के
everything
खातिर
else. So for the
अपनी
sake
नीति
of
को, अपनी ये मर्यादा को भूल गए,
Ramji's,
और बिना
Shabriji's
पूछे,
love,
बिना जिज्ञासा
he,
किए, बिना
although
सेवा किए,
he was not being
सेवा के
asked, he
फल
was not,
खिलाए थे, सेवई थोड़ी खिलाई थी।
so she
बिना
has just
सेवई
offered berries,
खिलाए
she
राम
hasn't
जी ने उपदेश
offered
कैसे
any
दिया?
sweets. But
लेकिन
he
यहाँ
has started
प्रेम,
speaking. That is her love,
मधुरता,
and that is her
राम
sweetness,
जी
his
मधुर
sweetness.
है।
He is
तो
very,
राम
very
जी
sweet.
जब बोलते हैं, राम जी की
Whenever
भक्ति
he
का मैं
speaks,
ज्यादा नहीं कहूंगा, अंतिम दिन है, हमको एटलीस्ट प्रथम भक्ति तो मैं पूरी करूं।
I don't want to
मैं
speak
राम जी के
further on
चरित्र
his
के विषय
sweetness,
में यदि मुझे
but
कहना हो, शॉर्टकट में
if
तो
I
मैं
have to
कहूंगा
add in
परशुराम जी
Sean,
का
then I would just say You know about Parshuram.
ये दो आदमी नित्य निरंतर तवे
So
पर होते हैं, दुर्वासा
he,
और परशुराम।
Durvasa ji
आपने
and
महसूस नहीं
Purushottam,
करी, मतलब
Parshuram ji both are
ऐसा
always
लगा
in
कि
an
पता
angstful
नहीं
mood,
कब अर्जुन
and
मुझे
they are
पीछे पड़
always
जाए।
ready with
तो
their weapons
आग
if
बबूला
needed.
होकर
So
परशुराम
they are
वहां जब सभा में
always
आए थे, इतने सारे क्षत्रिय
filled
बैठे
with
थे,
anger. And
तो
Parshuram ji
इतना
came
क्रोध
in the
में था कि
assembly
जैसे लक्ष्मण
and he
जी
was
ने
so much angry, and
परशुराम
Lakshman
की
ji
ऐसी पूंछ दबाई तो
has
उसका क्रोध
agitated
जो है
him
गुना
such
और बढ़ गया।
that his anger
और
got
ऐसे गरम
manifold,
तेज क्रोधी
and
परशुराम
such
को राम जी ने
highly
बर्फ की तरह ठंडा कर दिया। उस रामभक्त की
angstful,
भाषा कितनी मीठी है।
Parshuram ji was softened by Lord Sri Ram ji's
बस
soft
केवल इस
words.
पर चिंतन
Imagine
करो,
how
राम जी ने कोई शस्त्र
soft
कोई
or
धनुष
sweet
बाण
his
कुछ नहीं,
words
वो
would have
इतना लाल
been,
पीला गरम हो
how
रहा
effective his speech
परशुराम,
was.
लेकिन राम जी
So
की भाषा
Parshuram ji was
अत्यंत मीठी थी।
burning hot
उस
with his
परशुराम को
anger,
तमोगुण से
but
सीधा सत्वगुण में लेकर आए।
he just
राम
brought
जी का
him
एक
from
एक
this mode
शब्द
of
याद रहता है।
ignorance, that is tamogun,
परशुराम जी ने
to
कहा
the
तू
mode
कौन
of
है?
goodness.
बोले मैं राम।
So
परशुराम जी ने क्रोध पूर्वक
Parshuram ji has
कहा,
said, "Who is you?
तो
Who are
बोले
you?"
अगर
He
राम
says, "Ram."
मेरे
He
तरह
says
रंग
that
लेगा तो क्या ये समझ के
if
रखा
you
है कि मैं
name
इतना महान
yourself
हूँ?
like me, then that means that
मतलब
you're as
परशुराम
great
के
as
दादा
me or
दादी
as
ने
good
मुझे
as me.
अपना नाम
I
राम
am
रखा है,
Parshuram,
मतलब
and
मैं
you call
जैसा नाम
yourself
रखूंगा
Ram.
तो मेरे
So
जैसा
that
बन
means that
जाएगा।
you have, if you keep
राम जी तो
name similar to me, then you will become
बड़े
like me.
प्रेम मृदु भाषा
But
में कहते हैं, विप्र पुत्र
Ramji, in his
कैसे मन
sweet
होता है।
voice, replies,
वैसे तो हम रघुवंशीय है,
he says that
किसी
I
से
am
आपसे
from
नहीं डरते,
Raghuvansh. We are not scared of
लेकिन आप
anyone,
ब्राह्मण हो
but
और
you
विप्र
are a
कुछ काज
Brahmana,
बहुताई, अभय होई जो तुम्हें डराई। हमारी ये औकात कि हम आपको डराए,
and
हमारी आपकी
we
क्या
cannot
बराबरी, हम तो
scare
छोटे
you.
से
We
राम,
cannot.
आप तो
I'm
इतने बड़े
just a
परशुराम।
Ram.
और
You
थोड़ी
are
सी
a
बात और याद
Parshuram.
करते हैं।
And the sweet words he spoke,
परशुराम जी शांत हो गए।
Parshuram ji got
तो यहाँ एक
pacified
इंडिकेशन
instantly.
है कि
So
हम
here it
अपनी
is an
वाणी को
indication.
इतनी मीठी,
We should
इतनी
make our
मधुर बनाए
speech so
कि
sweet
कितना भी क्रोधी आदमी हो
that
बिल्कुल
no
शांत
matter how
रहना
much
पड़ जाए।
angry a person might be, he
हमारा
should
अभी है,
become
फिलहाल हमारा ये
pacified and
क्षण है,
cool.
कितना भी ठंडा
So
आदमी हो क्रोधित होकर चला जाए।
right now,
ये आजकल
we
हमारा
have
प्रोफाइल
this
है,
quality
लेकिन
that
इन्हीं प्रोफाइल
if
को धीरे
a
धीरे
person is
हटाकर
calm or
हमारे
cool, we can agitate them and make
देखकर,
them angry.
सुनकर,
But by
पढ़कर, हाँ,
learning
इसको
from Lord Sri
बदलना
Ram, we
हमें
should
जरूरी
try
है
to reverse that.
कि क्रोधी को क्रोध न रहे।
That an angry person
इस
should
प्रकार
lose
से
his
भगवान
anger
राम
by speaking with us.
शबरी माता
In
की
this
भक्ति से
manner,
प्रसन्न है
Lord Sri Ram
और
is satisfied with Mother Shabri's devotion
निवेदन करते हैं।
and requests her.
प्रथम भक्ति संतन कर संगा, प्रथम भक्ति संतन कर संगा, दूसर रति मम कथा प्रसंगा। सो राम जी कहते हैं कि शबरी,
Ramji says, "Oh
प्रथम
Shabri,
भक्ति संतन,
first limb of devotional service is
प्रथम
to
भक्ति का
associate
मतलब
with
क्या है?
saintly souls. The
संतों का
first
संग
devotion
करना।
is to associate with saintly souls.
संतों का संग करना, तो वो संत कैसे होते हैं?
So how should be a
राम जी ने
saint?
नारद मुनि को बताया,
Ramji
भरत जी
tells
को भी
Narad
उन्होंने
Muni,
कहा,
and he has spoken to
और यहाँ
Bharatji
इस
as well
इस
regarding the
पॉइंट पर
same.
थे
And we were on
कि
this
संत
point
कैसे
where
होते हैं। राम जी ने बताया,
a
उसके
saint
बाद
should
ये
be
भी
how.
बताया कि
He
असंत
said
कैसे
that,
होते हैं,
and then he has differentiated between
मतलब
Sant
किसके
and
संग
Asant as
हमें
well.
नहीं
So
करनी
whom
चाहिए।
should we not
आइए
associate with,
थोड़ी सी
whose
अलौकिक
association we
बातें
should avoid?
हम राम जी के
So
मुख से
let's
सुने और
listen from
हमें
Lord
इनसे
Sri
परहेज
Ram
करना चाहिए,
and
इन
try to
लोगों से हमें
avoid
बचना
such
चाहिए,
people.
इनकी संगति से हमें दूर
So we
रहना
should
चाहिए।
try to stay away from such
क्या
people.
कहते हैं, झूठ ही
So
लेना
what does he says?
झूठ ही देना,
Jhutai
जिसका
lena,
जीवन ही
jhutai
झूठ
dena.
में होता है,
Whose
झूठ ही
life
बोलना, झूठ
is
ही
filled
बोलना,
with
झूठ ही भोजन,
lies.
झूठ चबेना,
Jhutai bhejan, jhut
जिसका
chabina.
भोजन झूठा, सब कुछ झूठा
Who
होता है।
eats whatever
ऐसे
is
लोगों की संगति नहीं करनी चाहिए। दिखने में
already
कुछ लोग
tasted. So
ऐसे
we
हैं,
should
मानो
not
तो वैरागी त्यागी
associate
हो
with such
सकते हैं,
people. So they might look or appear
लेकिन
as
झूठा
a
ही वैराग्य,
div-
झूठा ही त्याग, तो
renunciate
ये
or
संगति
saint,
करके लाभ नहीं
but
मिलेगा।
we should not associate with such people. Priyadas ji has given a beautiful analogy which I have read a few years back. He has written once in a village there was a renunciate, although he was a hypocrite. So when a person is unable to work in any business, everything fails, then he appears to become a sage. So when he fails in every business, because it doesn't needs any much investment, you just get a dhoti and kurta, and you go to a village and sit there. You just pretend, and people start worshipping you. In Kali Yuga, this is very easy. So in a village, he sat there and he stopped eating. People used to offer food. So he used to disrespect them. I don't eat. I'm a renunciate. I'm a denounce. So, so for 3 days he sat there, and the whole village agreed that he's a great sage. And people started venerating him and started seeking his blessings. So a person who had a great faith in his heart, and he thought that I should take some food for this. So it was the time of the Shara, so he bought jalebi, pafra. So in India, this is what in newspaper they pack it and they weigh it and they wrap it with a thread. And he went to the so it was extremely hot summer. And this person came and he bowed down and seeked blessings that I'm here with some sweet jalebi. But he was to pretend for renunciation. So that year's fool, don't you know that I'm a renunciate, denounced person? We don't eat any sweet. What do we eat? So I just eat only the chickpeas. So the person got more attached and had more faith towards him, firm faith towards this person. And this person went. And when the summers were at their extreme, and when this person said that now these people will not come because they come in the morning and evening. So now it's not their time to come. So he stood up. He said nobody is there. So whatever jalebi he had thrown, he started cleaning it and started eating it. So the person who had sponsored this feast was from Nairobi. he was he was also very sharp. He was standing behind the tree, and when this Baba started eating this feast, and he came from the behind of the tree, he said that if you really wanted to eat, then why did you throw it at the first place? This is the quality of a son or unsaintly scoundrel or rascal. So we should not associate with such people. That is what Lord Ram adds here. And
वचन जिमि मोरा खाई महा अतिरद य कठोरा। और एक चीज समझिए,
so we should understand one more point here. Bole madhur. So in scriptures in Vedas, etc., we have spoken that we should speak softly, softly. But all who speak sweet words are not sages or saints. So we should not associate with all of them. They might speak softly, but if their heart is hard, then they are to be considered as unsaintly. So their words should be sweet and their actions should also be soft. So sometimes people have sweet voice,
बोल ही,
but
दूसरी लाइन में पढ़िए, बोल ही मधुर
their
वचन
actions are
जैसे
hard. So
मोर,
here Ramji is giving a
जिमी मोरा
analogy.
जैसे मोर,
He says,
मोर कितना
like
मधुर बोलता
a
है।
peacock, how
हमारे वहां तो भजन भी गाते हैं, मारू मन मोर बोलत
nicely
गात करे।
a
मोर
peacock
नाचता भी
speaks.
अच्छा है, गाता भी
He
अच्छा है,
dances
पीहू पीहू करता
well
है,
and he
पीहू पीहू पपीहा
sings well
गाता
as well. He dances
है।
as
सो
well.
मोर बोलता बड़ा मधुर है,
So a peacock
लेकिन
speaks
मोर का
very
भोजन क्या
nicely.
है?
But what does he eat?
गोस्वामी जी कहते हैं कि
Goswami
सुनने
Tulsidas
में
ji
मधुर लगता है,
adds,
लेकिन खाई
as
कहाँ अति हृदय कठोरा।
he
बोलता मधुर
speaks
है, लेकिन मोर
nicely,
सांप को खा
sweetly,
जाता है।
but he eats snakes.
सर्प मोर का आहार है, भोजन है।
So a
तो मोर बोलने में तो मधुर
snake
है,
is the food
लेकिन हृदय
of
कितना कठोर है
peacock.
कि वो
So
सांप को
although
खा
he
जाता है।
speaks softly, but his heart is so
तो
hard
ऐसे लोगों
that
की
it eats
संगति से
snakes. So
हमें
we
दूर
should
रहना
try to
चाहिए।
avoid
आगे
association
कहते
with
हैं,
such people. Further,
पर
he adds,
द्रोही परदार रत पर धन पर अपवाद, तेन पावर पापमयी, देह धरे मनुजाद। जो दूसरों को पर द्रोह करता है,
so
जो दूसरों की स्त्री पर रत रहता है, जो दूसरों के
who
धन
is
पर पाप करता
impious,
है,
who wants to take other people's
भक्ति
wealth or
राम कहते
opulence.
हैं, जो
Lord
दूसरों
Ram
की
says,
संपत्ति दूसरों के ऊपर दृष्टि रखता है,
who
देह धरे मनुजाद।
has
भले दिखने में तो वो
lust
मनुष्य
towards
है,
others'
लेकिन
wife and
वास्तव में
money.
वो
So he
राक्षस
may
है।
appear as a human, but he is
जो
demonic.
दूसरों की संपत्ति
He
के
is
ऊपर
a
दृष्टि
demon.
रखना, दूसरों के धन के ऊपर, दूसरों की वस्तु के ऊपर दृष्टि रखना,
So those who are
ये सब
attached to
बुद्धि
other
छोड़ो,
people's
वो मनुष्य भी
property,
नहीं, वो राक्षस
wealth,
है।
or women, he should not be
साधु को
considered as
संयोग
even a
जानना
human.
होगा, केवल
So we
वस्त्रों
need
से
to
उनकी पहचान नहीं
identify
है,
a saint by
उनके
just
अंतरंग
clothes. We cannot identify
भाव
them.
से।
What is in their
जो
heart, we need
दूसरों
to
की
know.
संपत्ति, दूसरों की वस्तु के ऊपर दृष्टि रखते हैं, ऐसे लोगों की संगति नहीं करनी चाहिए।
So we should not
आगे
associate with
कहते
such
हैं, लो
people.
वही ओढ़न, लो वही डासन,
Further,
चित्त
he
मूल
adds,
पर जमपुर त्रासन। जिसके मन में केवल लोभ है,
the one
बस
whose
लोभ ही उसका
heart
जीवन
is
है,
filled with greed,
कोई
and that
दिया,
is his whole life.
सेवा कर दिया, दक्षिणा दे
If
दिया,
someone serves
फिर
or
भी लोभ
gives some
बना रहता
charity,
है,
but still he
ऐसे लोगों की संगति नहीं करनी चाहिए।
is greedy, so we should not
अगली लाइन
associate
में
with
कहते
such
हैं राम
people.
जी, भरत जी को कहते
Further,
हैं,
Ramji adds and
काहू
tells
की जो सुन ही बढ़ाई,
Bharatji,
दूसरों की बड़ाई को सुनकर श्वास ले ही जनु जुड़ी आई। जिसके हृदय में कष्ट होता है,
who gets
असंत
distressed
है,
by listening to
उसकी
the
संगति नहीं करनी चाहिए। दूसरों की
praise
प्रशंसा,
of
दूसरों की
others,
बड़ाई जो सहन नहीं कर सकता,
the one who cannot
उसकी
tolerate
संगति नहीं
someone
करनी
else's
चाहिए।
praise, we should not
क्या ऐसे
associate
लोग
with
देखे?
such people. Have you
मैंने
seen such people?
मैंने मेरी आंखों से,
I have seen with my own
बहुत
eyes.
साल पहले मेरी
A
कथा
few
हुई
years
भारत
back,
में,
there
मुंबई
was
मीरा
a
रोड में,
katha in Mumbai Mira
स्वामीनारायण
Road
मंदिर में।
in a
मैं
Swaminarayan
ध्रुव
temple,
चरित्र के ऊपर कथा कर रहा था,
and I was
मतलब ये
speaking on
काफी
Dhruv
साल पहले
Maharaj.
की बात है,
This is
6 साल पहले
around
की बात।
15-20 years back
उस समय तो
when
इतना
I
काम
have
नहीं
just
है, आज
started.
तो कथा व्यासपीठ से उतरते हैं
So,
तो 2 5 20 लोग आ जाते हैं और फिर
so,
हमें
uh,
स्पेशल स्थान पर लेकर जाते हैं। उस समय तो
so now
पब्लिक के
people
साथ कीर्तन
gather.
करो, पब्लिक के साथ
So
निकलो।
at that time, I
उस
used to
समय इतना
enter
नहीं था।
and exit with public.
तो क्या हुआ, मैं ध्रुव चरित्र
I
सुनતો
used to
અને
talk
શરૂઆતમાં
free.
તો યાર આપણે મરણીયો
So
પ્રયાસ કરીએ ને, આપણે તો બધું પાથરી દઈએ,
initially we
આપણે
start
તો સબ અમને
and we
ગાળ
work
કર
so
ભજન
hard.
કર, ये
So I
शुरुआती
tried
दौर
so
था
hard by singing
हमारे
and
इस्कॉन में। तो ये
speaking
शुरुआती
when
दौर था,
I've just
संगीत
started
के
in
साथ,
ISKCON
म्यूजिक के साथ
with
कथा
music
करना, ये बहुत
to
बड़ा
speak the
नया
pastimes of the Lord,
एक
proclivities of the
नया
Lord.
पहलू था
That was
मेरे लिए।
just a
तो
new beginning.
मैं कथा किया, गाया,
So I
मैं मेरी
spoke and
आंखों से की
sang.
बात कर रहा हूँ। पब्लिक निकल रही थी, हम सब लोग
So
ऐसे निकल
people
रहे
were
थे, पीछे आगे
exiting.
दो लड़के, वो लड़के
So
कौन
there
मैं
were
जानता
two
हूँ,
boys, and I
वो
know these
लड़का
two
नहीं है, वो
boys,
प्रभु जी हो चुका है, वो प्रभु जी को मैं
and that
जानता हूँ।
boy is today Prabhuji,
तो किसी
and
एक
I'm
बहुत
aware of
अच्छा
him.
लड़का था, उसने
So there
कहा,
was one good boy.
लाल गोविंद
He said that
कितना अच्छा गाते
Lal
हैं,
Govind Prabhuji speaks so
उस
nice.
श्लोक को, किसी भजन को कितनी सुंदर वाणी
So
से वो गाते हैं,
he
हैं? चलो
decorates
मैं तो मानता हूँ कि
the
मैं
verse
अच्छा
with.
नहीं गाता,
So
मैं
I
बहुत
agree
गाता
that I
नहीं
don't
हूँ,
sing properly.
लेकिन
I don't know
इतना
anything.
प्रशंसा किया,
But
कितना
a
अच्छा
person
गाते,
was
तो
praising
उनको
that how
प्रभु ने
well he
क्या
sings.
बोला बताए,
So, but what
वो
the other
कोई अच्छा
person
नहीं
replied,
गाता है,
he
उसका मन
doesn't sing
अच्छा
well.
होता है।
He has a good mind.
वो सहन नहीं कर पाया,
So he couldn't tolerate.
वो सीधा बोल दिया, वो उसको कहाँ गाना
Straight
आता
away
है,
said, he
उसका
doesn't
तो
know how to
माइक
sing.
अच्छा है ना,
He
इसलिए
has a
उसको
good
अच्छा
mic.
लगता है।
That is why he
तो
looks good
यहाँ पर राम जी यही बात कर
or
रहे
he
हैं
sounds
कि
good. So
काहू की जो
Ramji
सुनी
is
बड़ाई,
saying that
दूसरों की बड़ाई सुनकर
the one who, by
जिसको
listening
अच्छा
the
न
praise of
लगे,
others, who
वो
cannot
असंग
tolerate it,
है, ऐसे लोगों
that
की
person is unsaintly.
संगति नहीं करनी
We
चाहिए।
should not associate with such people.
तो इसी बात का और आगे कहते हैं,
And
दुख
further, he
सहु
adds,
देख ही विपत्ति, सुखी भये मानहु जग नृपति। दूसरों को दुखी देखकर, दूसरों
so
को
while
विपत्ति
seeing
देखकर जिसके मन
the
में
distress
सुख
of
होता है,
others,
उसकी कभी भी
he
संगति नहीं
becomes
करनी चाहिए।
happy. We should not associate with
स्वार्थ
such
रत,
godless
जो
person.
अपने ही स्वार्थ में रत होता है,
A person
जो
who is
अपने
fully
स्वार्थ के कारण
engrossed in
अपने
his
परिवार से विरोध कर
selfishness
लेता है,
and he opposes even his family for
जो
that.
अपने माँ बाप का नहीं हो पाया,
So a person
जो
who
अपने परिवार का नहीं हो
opposes
पाया,
his
वो
family,
हमारा और दुनिया की क्या खाक होगा।
how will he
यहीं से ही बंदे का
become
पतन हो
ours? So
जाता है।
from there only person
तो
can be
राम जी ये
judged.
समझा रहे हैं कि स्वार्थ रत, अपने स्वार्थ
So
के कारण
Ramji is saying that
अपने
because of
घर
his
द्वार तक को
selfishness,
त्याग देता
if
है।
he let go of his own
क्रोधी,
family,
लोभी, क्रोधी,
such
ऐसे लोगों की
debauch,
संगति कभी नहीं करनी चाहिए,
lustful, greedy person should
कभी
not
नहीं
be
करनी चाहिए।
associated with
आगे
ever.
कहते हैं, मातु
Further,
पिता
he
गुरु
adds,
विप्र न मानहि, जो अपनी माता की बात न माने,
who
अपने
doesn't
पिता
listen
की
to
बात न
his
माने,
mother,
अपने
who
गुरु की
doesn't
बात न माने,
pays
अपने
heed to the
ब्राह्मण की
words of
बात
his
न माने,
father or spiritual master
ऐसे
or
लोगों
the
की संगति
brahmanas,
कभी न करे, ये सब
we
असंग
should
है।
not under
क्योंकि ऐसे
associate
लोग
with such
माता पिता
impious people,
गुरु और
because such
वैष्णवों की बात
people
नहीं मानने वाले आप
who
है,
don't
खुद तो नरक में
listen
जाएंगे, और
to
गाना क्या
such
नहीं,
people, they
हम
will
लोगों
go
को भी
to
नरक में
hellish planets
डालेंगे।
and they will drag us along with them as well.
इसलिए
Therefore,
बड़े विस्तार से हमारे गुजराती भाई
Ramji
હોય ને, તો
speaks in
રામજીએ
detail
પ્રથમ ભક્તિનું વર્ણન
the
5
first
પદમાંથી એ તેલ નાખીને
bhakti
આપણને સમજાવ્યું છે
was described in
કે
detail
કંઈ
by Lord Sri
સમજમાં ન
Ram.
આવે તો
And
તેલના
if
ગરમ,
still you haven't been able to
તો
understand,
વ્યાખ્યા દો જો था वो मैं
then
सब आपके बीच में,
that will be
तभी
your
हम
shortcoming.
भक्ति
Whatever
सतम गुर संगा के,
I
तो
had
इसी सी
shared
बात
with
को
you.
समझाने के
So
लिए
on the just
आज
one
7वां दिन चल
thing,
रहा है
we have just
कि
discussed
इतनी सी
this for
बात को
7 days.
समझ जाए कि
So
पहली
if we just
उत्तम
understand
संतों का संग
that the
और
first
साथ ही साथ जो
association
असंग
is to
है
associate with saintly
उसका
soul,
संग नहीं
and
करना,
whoever is not saintly or who's unsaintly,
करई
we should
मोह बस
avoid
द्रोह
them, avoid
परावा,
their association.
संत संग हरि कथा न भावा। चलो ये बहुत बढ़िया है जो दूसरों के प्रति द्रोह करता है
And
उसकी
a one
संगति न करे,
who
और दूसरा संग
is
संत
opposed
संग
to
हरि
others
कथा न
and
भावा, जिसको भगवान की
who
कथा
doesn't
सुनने में
likes the
लगती है,
proclivity or
वो
pastimes of the
कभी से भी
Lord,
मत करें।
we should never associate with such
हाँ,
people.
ઘણીવાર લોકો એમ કે ના કથામાં શું
Sometimes
કહેવાનું
people
છે,
say,
કથામાં શા માટે
what is
જાઓ
there
છો,
to listen
કથામાં બધા ખાવા
in
જ આવે
Katha?
છે, કથા સાંભળવા
People
તો ગયા
just
કોઈ
go there
નતું।
to eat. Nobody goes there to listen to the
ये
Katha.
सब स्टेटमेंट पुराने हो गए।
So all
लोग
the
ऐसा कहते थे ना,
statements
कथा
are
में लोग
old,
खाने के लिए ही आते हैं,
that people
कथा
come
सुनने
to
कौन आते
eat.
हैं,
Who
अब
comes
बताइए ये
to
अमृत
listen
चर्चा
to
है।
Katha? So in
और
this Amrit
फिजिकल अगर
Charcha,
कथा होती ना, तो
if it's
योगेश भाई
physical Katha,
और पत्नी परिवार आपको क्या
then
क्या
the
खिलाते ये मैं जानता
Patni
हूँ।
family
आपके
would have
हाथ
treated you
धो
so
के
well.
बिठाते, और आपके
You would
सीने
have
पे
been sitting on their
ठुमके
hands and they
बजाते,
would serve you
और
if it
योगेश
would have
भाई
been
की
a
बड़ी
physical Katha.
जिज्ञासा है कि
And
अब
Yogesh
अगली
Pai
बार
had
तो
this
नैरोबी केन्या
intense
में
desire
जाके
that we
होनी
should
चाहिए,
have Nairobi, Kenya as a
तो
physical
तब
Katha.
तब कह सकते कि
So he
लोग
would have
बहुत
fed
अच्छा
us.
गाते हैं।
Then you can
अब
say that
यहाँ पर
yeah, people
ऑनलाइन
come here
कथा हो
to
रही
eat.
है,
So here the
लाखों
Katha is going
करोड़ सुन
online.
रहे हैं,
Thousands and lakhs of people are
आप
listening.
स्क्रीन में बैठा છો, આ
So
સ્ક્રીનમાંથી
you
યોગેશ
all
ભાઈ
are
ખાવાની
sitting on the
પ્લેટો
screen.
મોકલે
So is Yogesh Pai sending
કે
you
ये मैं
food
कथा के
from
लिए
the
ये भी
screen?
प्लेट ले लो, ये भी खा लो, हैं? यहाँ कहाँ भोजन मिल रहा है, लेकिन
So
फिर भी
here,
इतनी
where is
संख्या
the
में
food?
इतने
But
सारे
still, there's
लोग
so
कथा
many
सुनने
people
आते हैं।
who are listening to this Katha.
इसका अर्थ है
That
कि आपकी धाम
implies
में भोजन करना, प्रसाद पाना
that,
बहुत
yeah,
बड़ी बात है,
to get prasad in
लेकिन
a
हर
Katha
कोई
is a great
सुनवाना
feat,
सोच
but
रहा है,
the world is
धाम
improving.
के खातिर लोग सुन रहे हैं।
People are listening because of
So
their
राम जी
love
कहते
towards
हैं
the
कि
proclivity and pastimes of the Lord.
जिसको
So
सत्संग
Ramji
संग
adds,
और हरि कथा अच्छी नहीं
a
लगती,
person who doesn't
वो
like
खुद की
good
संगति कभी
association
मत
and who
करे।
doesn't wants to
जो
hear
लोग
the
साधु हैं,
pastimes of the Lord,
कभी कभी आपके लीडर
you
भी
should not
कहते हैं
associate with
कि
them.
कथा में
So
मत
if
जाओ,
there are
कथा मत
leaders and
सुनो,
they say that you should
तो
not listen to the
क्या
Katha, you
करें?
should not go there, then what shall we do?
कई बार ऐसा धर्म के लीडर ऐसा कहते हैं,
Sometimes
मंच पर
religious
से
leaders
आपको
also
भी ऐसे
speak like
टकराए
this.
होंगे, और
You would
देखिए कब
also face
टकराएंगे आप
them.
देख लेना।
If you haven't, then you
कथा में
might
मत जाओ,
meet them
उनकी कथा
someday.
में ये नहीं,
You
कथा
should
मत
not
सुनो, तो
go
क्या
there,
करें?
attend their Katha, or listen to them.
तेरी केवल नौकरी करे, तेरी चाकरी करे। बहुत सुंदर आगे राम जी कहते हैं,
Further,
अवगुण
Ramji
सेवितु
adds,
मंदमति कामी, जो जो अवगुण का समुद्र है उसकी
so
संगति
the
ना
one who
करे,
has all the
जो
bad qualities, we
मंदमति
should
है
not associate with
उसकी
them.
संगति ना
Who
करे।
is foolish, we should not
एक
associate
नीति
with.
कहूं,
So let me share one philosophical
मूर्खों
point
से
here.
दोस्ती करने से, सुनिए ध्यान से, किसी मूर्ख से दोस्ती
To
करने से
befriend a
करोड़ों
fool,
गुना अच्छा
it
है
is far
किसी
better
बुद्धिमानी
to
आदमी से दुश्मनी कर लेना।
be enemy of a
आप
wise
किसी
person.
बुद्धिमान आदमी से दुश्मनी करोगे ना,
If you
तो वहां से भी कुछ
have
सीखने को
animosity
मिलेगा,
towards a wise
और
person, then
मूर्खों
you
से
will get an
दोस्ती
opportunity to
करोगे
learn from him.
तो
If
दोस्ती
you
में घाटा
befriend a
मिलेगा
fool,
आपको।
then you will always be
सो
at loss.
मंदमती का एसोसिएशन कभी मत करें,
So we should not
ये
associate
राम
with
जी
foolish
कहते हैं।
people. That is what
अवगुण
Ramji is
सिंधु
saying.
का, जो अवगुण के समुद्र है उसकी संगति ना
Those
करे,
who have all
मंदमती
bad
की
qualities
संगति
should
ना
not
करे,
be
काम
associated with.
की संगति ना करे।
We should
किसकी
not
संगति करे?
associate with
काम काम
lustful
काम।
people.
वेद विदूषक पर धन स्वामी, जो वेद विदूषक माने निंदा, जो वेदों की
So,
निंदा करता है, मैं गीता तो
who
नहीं मानता, भागवत तो
criticizes
नहीं मानता,
Vedas,
कोई सीधी
Bhagavatam
तरह
or
बोले तो
Bhagavad
नहीं
Gita,
नहीं, मैं आपको सिखा देता हूँ,
we
सीख
should
के बोले
straight away
मैं
tell
तुझको
them,
नहीं मानता, चल
we
हवा में।
don't agree with you.
कहीं पर भी आप दुनिया में जाओ और कोई ऐसा बोले
Wherever you
मैं
go,
गीता
if
भागवत
someone
नहीं
says
मानता,
that
सीधा
I
बोलो
don't
मैं तुझको नहीं
accept
मानता,
Gita Bhagavad, then you say that I don't accept you.
क्योंकि
You
आपको
should just answer straight away.
गीता भागवत पर विश्वास नहीं तो
If you
आपको
don't
कोई
have
भी नहीं
faith
कर
in
सकता।
Gita and Bhagavatam, then nothing
इसका
can
अर्थ ये
save
हुआ कि
you.
हम किसी देश
That
में रहते
implies
हैं और
if
उस
we are living
देश
in a
के
country
संविधान को नहीं मानते,
and
फिर
we
क्या हो
do
सकता है?
reject their
तो कुछ
constitution,
दिन के बाद जेल में दिखाई दोगे आप।
after a few days you will be imprisoned
सो
for
वेद
the same.
विदूषक, वेदों का जो निंदा करता है
So
उनकी संगति ना करे, ये सब
person
श्लोक
who
में लिखा हुआ
criticizes
है।
the Vedic
और
scriptures,
पर धन स्वामी, जो दूसरे
they
धन
all
के,
are
दूसरे लोगों के
unsaintly. They
धन को
should be
अपना
rejected.
स्वामी, वो अपना समझता
And
है, उसका
those
उसकी
who
संगति नहीं।
think that others' wealth is their
विप्र
own,
दोह पर द्रोह
they are
विशेषा,
impious
जो
people.
वैष्णव से द्रोह करता है, जो
And
भक्तों से
those
द्रोह
who
करता है,
is
उसकी
opposed to
संगति ना करे।
devotees,
उत्तम
Brahmanas, we should
भक्तों
not
में
associate with
जिया
them.
धरे
Who are
सुरेशा,
hypocrites
और जो केवल दंभ
and who
करता
are
है, कपट करता
conceitful,
है,
deceitful.
और सुवे कपड़े तो अच्छे पहनता है, धोती
He
कुर्ता
wears good
मटका
clothes,
सिल्क और
Subesha.
ऐसा ये डाल के, ये
He
ऊंची
will.
डिग्री वाले लोग पहनते हैं। हाँ, मुझे तो मिल गया है, लेकिन जो ऊंची डिग्री वाले ये सब डालते
So
हैं, ऐसा डाल
usually
के गले में
ordinary
बांध
people
लेते हैं,
don't wear this.
तो ये सब डाल वाल के जो चकाचक बनकर, तो उसकी संगति बोले नहीं।
So
वेश देखकर
he says,
संगति ना
no,
करे, सुवेश,
just by looking at their
वेश तो अच्छा हो
dress, we should not
लेकिन उसमें
associate with them,
दंभ
even
हो,
if they
कपट हो,
dress well. But if it's filled
तो
with
उसकी संगति ना करे।
conceit and deceit, then we should avoid them.
भरत जी को कहते हैं, ऐसे अधम
Ramji
मनु
tells
खल
Bharatji, he says,
कृतयुग त्रेता नाही। भरत जी कहते हैं कि राम जी, ये त्रेता
Bharatji
युग में
says,
ऐसे लोग मिलेंगे?
in
बोले नहीं।
Treta you will find such people? Ramji
ऐसे
replies,
अधम
no.
मनुष्य खल
He says,
कृतयुग त्रेता नाही, सतयुग और
such
त्रेता युग में
impious
ऐसे
people
असंत थे ही नहीं,
are not there in Satyug
लेकिन
and
द्वापर
Treta Yuga.
कछुक बुंद,
But
द्वापर युग में
in
बूंद के
Dwapar
समान
there
ऐसे
might be
लोग थे,
some
और
like
कलयुग में
droplets of
तो
water, but
बाढ़
in
आ
Kali
गई।
Yuga,
कलयुग में तो ऐसे लोगों का पूर आ गया, धोध बहने लगा।
the majority
द्वापर
people are
कछुक
like
बुंद,
this. So
कोई
till
नहीं
Dwapara there were
बचा,
only a few,
कलयुग में तो
but
इसकी बाढ़ आ
in
गई।
Kali Yuga
कितनी सुंदर बात।
they have
यही तो
overwhelmed.
मतलब
So there,
पिछले 1.5 दिन से हम लोग
is an overflow of what?
संग का जो पाठ पढ़ रहे हैं,
So whatever we have been
ऐसे
hearing about
संत लोग
the duplicitous people, hypocrite
त्रेता में तो
people,
थे ही नहीं।
deceitful people were not there in
चूक बूंद सम,
Satyug
द्वापर में कुछ कुछ बूंद की तरह
and
कहीं
Treta,
कहीं ऐसे
but
थे,
in Dwapar they were a
लेकिन कलयुग में
very
तो
few.
पहाड़ है।
But in Kali Yuga they are
मेजॉरिटी वही
overflowing.
मिलेंगे जो अभी
You
हमने
will
चर्चा
find
की है।
them
कलयुग में
in
मेजॉरिटी में
majority.
मिलेंगे, हमको उस मेजॉरिटी में से कुछ
So in that
अच्छे संत को
majority,
खोजना पड़ेगा।
we need to search for the
सो
saintly soul.
परहित सरिस धर्म नहीं भाई, पर पीड़ा सम नहीं अधमाई। दूसरों के हित परोपकार के समान कोई धर्म नहीं है,
There is
और
nothing
दूसरों
better
को दुखी करने के
principle of
समान
religion
कोई
than
पाप नहीं
to
है।
help others, and there
पाप
is
और पुण्य की डेफिनेशन
not a
क्या है?
bigger sin
पुण्य
than
माने
distressing others.
परोपकार, दूसरों
So
की
punya
सेवा
here
करना,
is
मदद
to
करना
help
पुण्य है,
others,
और दूसरों
serve
को
them.
दुखी करना
That
पाप है।
is a good deed, and the sin
शास्त्रों
is
का
to distress others.
फाइनल
That
कंक्लूजन
is the conclusion of the Vedic scriptures.
नर शरीर धरी जे पर पीरा, मनुष्य का शरीर प्राप्त करके
Those who have
दूसरों को
got this
कष्ट
human
देता है
body and
और
still
करहित
distresses
सुनी
others,
भव भीरा, उस व्यक्ति को
such
जन्म मृत्यु
person
के समान महान संकट भोगतने पड़ते हैं।
faces
करई मोह बस नर
distress
अजनाना, मोह के कारण
as
यदि कोई अनेकों
deep
प्रकार के
as
पाप
death.
करता है,
And when he
तो
performs such
स्वार्थ रथ
sinful
पर
activities,
लोक
then
रसाना, तो उसका परलोक में
Swaratrat
कोई
Parlokanasana, he will
इस जीवन में चलो हो सकता है कि वो थोड़ा बहुत सुखी हो भी जाए,
have a very
लेकिन
bad
मरने के बाद उसका भला नहीं होगा।
life after his death.
काल रूप तिन कह
He
पर
won't be
दाता,
saved.
शुभ अरु अशुभ कर्म फल दाता। तो हे भाई, हे भरत,
Oh, my brother
मैंने
Bharat,
तुम्हें इस प्रकार से
I have
शुभ अशुभ
spoken
कर्मों
thus
की बात कही। अस
about
विचार
all the
के
pious and
परम
impious
सयाने,
deeds,
जो सयाने लोग हैं भज
and
ही मोही मेरा भजन
the
करे।
intelligent people will
और इस
perform
संसार
devotional
को
service
वो
towards
सारे
me,
समझेंगे,
and they will understand that
और
this world
इसलिए
is the house of
त्यागे
misery, and
कर्म
therefore,
शुभा शुभदायक, भज ही मोही सुर नर मुनि नायक। इसलिए बुद्धिमानी इसी में है कि
before
अपने
the
बहुत
intelligence
सारे
is
शुभ अशुभ कर्म को छोड़कर
that we should leave
मेरा भजन
all
करो।
types of pious and impious deeds and perform devotional
और बड़े
service
बड़े मुनि
towards me.
देवता, हाँ, बड़े
Great,
बड़े
great
साधु
sages
संत यही
and
करते हैं।
demigods do that.
संत असंत, अब देखो ये 1.5 दिन से हम लोग जो सुन रहे हैं,
So
इसमें
since 1.5 days, whatever we are listening,
संत
listen to
असंत
the
के
glories of
गुण
the same.
भाषे, संत और
Sant
असंत के
asant
ये
ke
गुण
gun
जो
bhashe.
आपने
So the
1.5 दिन में
qualities
सुने,
of a
संतों
saintly
के
and
गुण और असंतों
unsaintly
के गुण।
person,
दूसरी लाइन में, संत असंत के गुण भाषे, तेन पर ही भव जिन लखी राखे। केवल इन गुणों को कोई समझ भी जाए ना,
so if someone just understand these qualities, then he will be relieved of this
इसलिए इन बातों को हमें
cycle of
समझकर
repeated birth
अपने
and
जीवन
death
में
in this
ध्यान से
material miserable
करना
world.
चाहिए। तो यहाँ पर राम जी का वक्तव्य
So
समाप्त
here
हुआ।
Ramji's words are concluded.
यदि मुझे कोई पूछे कि एक वाक्य में
If someone
संत
asks
किसे
me
कहते हैं, मैं तो
to
इतना ही
define
कहूंगा,
a saint in one
संत
sentence,
उसे
then I
कहते
would
हैं
just say a saint is
जिसके
one
संग रहने से,
by whose
वैसे तो देखो अच्छी
association,
बात है,
if he
सदा करे
speaks, then it
प्रवचन
is
कर
good.
उपदेश करे,
If he
ये तो अच्छी
preaches,
बात है,
then this is good.
लेकिन जिसके संग
But
रहने से
by whose
उसका
association
आचरण
and by
वेदों का, शास्त्रों का
looking at
अर्थ
his
अपने
behavior,
जीवन में उतर जाए, वो
that
है
we
सच्चा
can
संत।
imbibe his values, that is a true
जो
saint.
अपने जैसा बना दे, अपने
Who
जैसा
makes
साधु बना दे,
others like
वो
him,
है संत।
that is a saint.
तो इस प्रकार से राम जी
So in this
प्रथम
manner,
भगति
Lord
संप्रथम
Ramji
कर
speaks
संग,
on
संतों की
Pratham
संगति
Bhakti
करना, ये प्रथम भक्ति।
Santan Kar Sangha, to associate with saintly souls or devotees.
और सारे धोती कुर्ता वाले संत नहीं
And
होते,
all those who wear
सारे
dhoti
तिलक
are
वाले
not saint.
चोटी वाले भक्त नहीं, संत नहीं होते।
All who have
इसलिए
tusi beads
दिखने में तो वो संत
may
जैसे
not
हैं,
be saint. They might look or
सबकी
appear
सेवा
like a saint,
करने योग्य
but
नहीं है।
they all are not worthy of our
हम लोग सब
association.
गौड़ीय भक्त हैं,
We
और हम
all
सब
are
रूप
Gauriya
गोस्वामी के
devotees,
पच्चीनों पर चलने वाले
and
हैं।
we are the followers
रूप
of
गोस्वामी
Rup
ये
Goswami,
बड़ा काढ़िन बात करी है।
and Rupa Goswami has
मतलब
spoken.
कंकर अलग, पत्थर अलग, चावल अलग।
He
सो
has
रूप गोस्वामी ने
separated
एक बहुत
the
सुंदर
pebbles from the rice,
उपदेशामृत में कहा,
and in the nectar of instruction he
बहुत लाभ
speaks. This is
कृष्ण
worth
इति यस्य गिरिते
jotting down.
मन
He
साध्य चेत
says,
दीक्षास्ति चेत प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्त मीशम शुश्रूषया भजन विज्ञ मनन्य मन्य निंदादि शून्य हृदयम इप्सित संग लब्ध्या। आप इस श्लोक का अंतिम शब्द देखो,
just look at the last word of this verse, Sang Labdhaya.
संग लब्ध्या, दूसरी लाइन
Sang Labdhaya in the second line.
संग लब्ध्या मतलब संग लाभ करो, संग
That is
प्राप्त
Sang.
करो।
So you should
किसका?
get
तो
association
अब रूप
of whom?
गोस्वामी कहते हैं, श्लोक को समझिए,
Then
ये सारी बात
Rup
को एक
Goswami
श्लोक में बता
says,
दिया।
he has spoken this
देखो
in just
किसी का
one
अपमान
verse.
करे, किसी का अनादर तो करने की बात ही
We
नहीं है।
should not dishonor or
सब
offend
कैसे?
anyone, but how should we
कृष्ण
associate?
इति यस्य गिरा,
He says, Krishna
जिसके
iti
वाणी में,
yasya
जिसके
gira,
गिरा में
whose speech
हरे कृष्ण करता है,
has
जरूरी नहीं है कि
the
उसका
Lord.
संग करो, नहीं, never।
It's not necessary that we should associate with them.
सब महामंत्र बोलने वाले कोई संत नहीं होते।
Those who all chant are not
तो रूप
sages or
गोस्वामी
saints.
कहते हैं कृष्ण
So Rup Goswami says,
इति गिरा,
Krishna
जिसके गिरा,
iti
जिसकी
ati
वाणी
gira,
पर कृष्ण
whose
का नाम
speech
है, तो
has
तम
Lord's
मनसा आद्रिये,
names,
उसको मन से आदर करो
then
और
you
वहां
should
से निकलो।
respect that person with your
उसका
heart and
एसोसिएशन, उसकी
leave.
संगति मत
You
करो।
should not associate with them.
सो कृष्ण यस्य गिरी, जिसकी वाणी पर कृष्ण का नाम है, उसका एसोसिएशन करने की जरूरत नहीं, उसको सत्संग मत समझो। हम तो
So
उस
that should not be considered as
और फिर
devotee
सत्संग करते हैं
association.
और कोई
We
परेशान
consider
नहीं।
that to be devotee association.
सत्संग
And
किसका करना है ये देखो आप।
whom shall we associate? We
पहली
should
कैटेगरी
try
तो ये है
to learn
कि
that,
कृष्ण का
understand that.
नाम लेने वाले
So the
को
first
कैसे
category, the
निंदा
people who
स्तुति नहीं
chant,
करना है,
we should not
अपमान
criticize
निंदा नहीं
anyone.
करना है,
We should not
और उसको
disrespect
मन से
anyone,
आदर करो
but we should
और
just
निकलो।
respect them with our heart and we should
फिर
leave.
आगे कहते हैं
Further, he
दीक्षास्ति
adds,
चेत,
Dikshasti
यदि
Chet,
उसकी दीक्षा हो गई है
if he
तो
is
थोड़ी कैटेगरी
initiated,
ऊंची आ गई, मतलब उसको भी थोड़ा अभिमान तो है कि अपन
then
दीक्षित
he
हैं
will
अभी,
also have some pride that
तो
I
थोड़ा
am
सा उसको भी
initiated.
रहता है कि वो दीक्षित है। तो यदि उसकी दीक्षा हो गई है
So
तो
if he
भी
is
उसका संग
initiated,
नहीं करना है।
then also we should not
सारे
associate with
दीक्षित लोग
him.
कोई संत हो गए ऐसा जरूरी
All
नहीं है।
initiated are
यदि
exalted,
दीक्षा
stronger
हो गई
devotees
है
is
तो
not
फलती
necessary.
नहीं, तो उसको प्रणाम करो और वहां
So
से
we should
निकलो,
venerate them and we should leave.
वहां से निकल जाओ, उसका भी एसोसिएशन मत करो।
We should not associate
भगवान
with
के
them.
नाम लेने वाले को मन से आदर करो, निकलो।
So
दीक्षा
a
प्राप्त
person who
शरीर
chants
से
the
जो है
holy names of the Lord, we
शरीर
should
से प्रणाम
respect
करो
him
और वहां से
with
निकलो।
our heart and
अच्छा,
leave. And
संग
the person who
किसका
is
करो?
initiated, we should
प्रथम
just
भक्ति
bow down at their
संगति
lotus feet
संगा,
and leave.
तो संग
So
किसका
whom
करना है,
shall we
एसोसिएशन
associate
किसका
with?
करना है? तो बड़े शॉर्टकट में रूप गोस्वामी ने
In
कहा
shortcut, Rup Goswami ji has
कि
mentioned
एसोसिएशन किसका करना है?
that whom shall we
भजंतम
associate?
ईशम, जो
Bhajantam Isham,
ईमानदारी से भगवान की
who
भक्ति करे।
honestly
एक, दूसरा शुश्रूषया,
worships the Lord, and
जो अपने
Shushrushraya,
गुरु की सेवा करता हो,
who
शिष्य
serves his
परंपरा में हो।
spiritual master and he
भजंतम
is
ईशम
in
दूसरी
disciplic
लाइन में
succession.
पहले है शुश्रूषया,
Bhajantam Isham,
और तीसरा
Shushrushraya,
एसोसिएशन किसका करना है? ये
and whom
सब
should
एक
we
व्यक्ति में
associate?
होनी चाहिए।
So all these things should be
भगवान को
present in one
ईमानदारी से
person.
भक्ति करना
He
चाहिए,
should perform devotional
शुश्रूषया
service
गुरु की
honestly.
सेवा में
He
होना
should
चाहिए,
serve and should
तीसरा
be in disciplic
भजन
succession.
विज्ञ,
Third,
भक्ति
Bhajan
के
Vigya.
विज्ञान को पूर्ण रूप से जानना
He
चाहिए,
should completely understand the
और
science of
चौथा
performing devotional
निंदा
service. And
आदि
fourth,
शून्य, जो कभी
Ninda Adi
किसी की
Shunya,
निंदा न
who
करता हो,
never
वो
criticizes
संत कहते
anyone.
हैं। और
That is a
ऐसे
saint,
संतों की
and we
संगति
should associate
प्रथम
with such
भक्ति है।
people, and that is the first limb of devotional service.
બસ હવે 7 દિવસ તમને આ પેલી ભક્તિ વિશે સમજાયું.
So in 7 days, I have just explained the first limb of the devotional service. So I hope that you have understood.
સંગતિ કરना પ્રથમ
So to associate with such saintly
राम जी
souls
यहाँ
is
पर
devotion.
प्रथम भक्ति का निवेदन कर रहे
So
हैं।
Ramji
आइए
is
इसके टाइटल
requesting this. So, as the title is the nine limbs, so let me just enumerate them so that Ramji and Mother Shabri are satisfied. Although they will not get upset, but all those who are sitting here, they should not become unhappy. How much time it will take to say or count or enlist them? So it will just take 9 minutes. So the first devotion is to associate with saintly souls, and second is Dusri Rati Mam Katha present. That is to have attachment towards my pastimes and proclivity. And the third is Guru Pad Pankaj Seva, Tisari Bhakti Aman. So to serve the lotus feet of our spiritual master without any pride, with all humility, if you serve your spiritual master, that is the third limb. And the fourth is Mam Gun Gan Kare, Kapat Tajigan, leaving conceit and deceit. If you sing my glories, that is the fourth limb of devotional service. And further, so the fifth devotion is to chant the holy names of the Lord. So with firm faith, chanting the holy names is the fifth limb. And the sixth is so the sixth devotion is Dam, that is to control our senses. Then Shil is good nature or behavior, and Bahukarma plus to be renounced or detached from all types of works. Virati is to renunciate. So to control our senses, to have a good nature, and to take renunciation from all worldly tasks, that is the sixth limb of devotion service. And the seventh is in this whole world, if you look the whole world as me, you should look at everything as me, and you should respect the saintly souls even more than me. And eighth is whatever we get by the mercy of the Lord, we should always be satisfied with that, and we should never see any shortcomings of failures of anyone. And the ninth is we should behave with others without any conceit or cheat, and we should be totally surrendered to the Lord and not to get distressed or happy about our situation. So all these nine limbs of devotional service are complete. So if a person has just one limb in their heart, then definitely they will attain my love and my abode. And oh Shabri, all these nine limbs are of devotion are in your heart. Therefore, you are benevolent. And in this manner, Ramji described the nine limbs of devotional service, and by that, he venerated Mother Shabri. So I tried hard, as you all are aware. But after so much try from the nine limbs of devotional service, so although I've described them, but we could only elaborate on the first limb of the devotional service. So in upcoming days, if the Patni family organize a katha, then we will listen to the second limb, so on and so forth. And if they have taken this pledge, then for the upcoming 8 years, the Lord will have to make them alive and their business should flourish. Because if they don't keep it, then how will the 9 limbs of Bhakti, how will this Katha be concluded? So with this pledge, a vow, we will listen to all these other limbs in detail and will try to imbibe them in our life. You all have been listening with great love, faith, and patience. So I'm really grateful to all of you. I especially want to thank Yogesh Bhai, Naveen Bhai, Anush Bhai, Arvind Bhai, Prabhudas Bhai. You all have organized this Katha and you have been listening with so much peace, patience, and certainly, what shall I say about their pious ancestors? So the ancestors get benefit they if people listen to the Katha, but the people who are pious, whose ancestors are pious, only their children can organize such a Katha where so many people get benefited. So all their ancestors have already attained the mercy of the Lord and they have got the special mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And by piety of such ancestors, the whole Patni family is flourishing. In Gujarati, if I have to say, because of such ancestors, this Patni family is roaming the whole world. They have dearth of not anything. So they all are at constantly practicing devotional service. So all your desires should be fulfilled. And may you always constantly do such great activities uh, related to devotion and you should bless us. So by these words, I just conclude the 371st Katha on the 9 limbs of devotional service. The first devotion, that is to associate with devotees in detail, I will conclude with Jai Jaikar.
महापुराण के श्री कृष्ण